Morning, students. Good morning, students. So we have commenced at chapter 2. We have started talking about service-oriented architecture and its basics. During the last session, we have completely discussed on what is a software architecture, what are its styles, resource-oriented architecture, object-oriented architecture, what are their corresponding merits and demerits, what is the what made people to move for service oriented architecture. These are all the things that we have discussed in the previous session. I have shared the same as a video lecture in your Google Classroom as well as in your WhatsApp group also. Students who have missed that session, use that YouTube link and view the lecture what we have discussed during the last session. So by doing the recap of that, try to answer the following MCQs. Service oriented architecture is among which one of the option? Strongly coupled, loosely coupled, strongly cohesive, loosely cohesive. Already you know the property of this coupling and cohesiveness from software engineering, right? So even in today's session we'll discuss something about legacy systems. So what could be the option? Please make your options in the chat. Mention your options in the chat, please. Even this could be a practice for your weekly tests. So there is option from Ibrahim Jawahar. Only 2 members are in the class. Oh, 3. Okay, fine. 4. People are ready to supply the answers. So the answer is loosely coupled, right? If it is strongly coupled, ultimately it is going to be a legacy systems, right? Loosely coupled means whenever I need, I am going to pay and use. See, service-oriented architecture is the platform for your cloud computing. Don't forget that. Demand on computing, right? Which of the following is an essential principle of architecture? This is something related to your software engineering. Post your answer in the chat. Whether it is consistency, reliability, scalability, or all of the mentioned. Yes, we have an ultimate option. If I am going to give like this, all of the mentioned, people will choose that only, right? Consistency, reliability, and scalability. Because the best architecture till now evolved is going to be a service-oriented architecture because it is ready to provide that. Before that, we are having 4 types of architecture that what we have learned. They are not. They must at least fail in any one of these properties. Okay, consistent. Even a teacher could not be able to give that job, right? Consistently, a teacher could not be able to give you a very good session in all the lectures. It's very tough. But a system can do. An automated system can do, right? Reliability, right? So reliable over on the specific service is always good because reliability is the factor that they will establish through their people used the services through their feedbacks and reviews. Scalability, ultimately I could able to increase my resources, number of resources. Even if I record something at runtime, I could able to pay and bring back some services, additional services. That's also being possible for me. So when which architecture is going to supply all these 3 items, ultimately that's what our SOA. Yes. Third question. This question is from your GATE examination. Arrange the following activities in order to build a SOA. Here we have been given in 4 lines. Virtualization through mediation, Mediation means the term that what they will be using is called broker, right? Broker. Might be you have come across a broker architecture in your cloud computing. Broker. Track services with registries, right? So it's like your yellow pages. Govern, secure, and manage the services. Management of services completely. Designed for interoperability through the adoption of standards. This is the place where we will be using web service, right? A Java web service could be able to interoperate with any types of other language services also. A .NET web service having the basic capacity of interoperability, right? So which one that we need to arrange in the order? So take some 20 seconds time. Understand, order it, put your option in the chat box. See, even nowadays, I could able to see a startup in IITM, like Amazon, like our Google. They are also producing. They are also having their. They are ready to give a lease for us a private cloud. They are giving us infrastructure. They are maintaining the infrastructure. They are taking care of everything. Just we have to access the portal of them itself. By supplying username and password, I could able to hire a storage, even a compute cloud, right? Computational capacity. I could able to purchase to set up such a type of a service-oriented platform. You must know in which order these things has to come. Yes, any options for question number 3? So the recent option is C, B. So the option is 1, 2. So that's what 2 has to come first. Track the services with the registries. That means collect the services and it must be documented or it must be populated in a single place. In SOA, you will learn about UDDI. Okay, so UDDI. So that is the yellow page that consists of that is the place where I can find the pool of services. I could able to identify a service using a ID, unique ID. Okay, so next stage, what we have to do? Management of services. That's what point number 3. Next, now I know what are all the services are available with me. I know how to manage the service. So next, what I have to do? If any resource is going to access me, so what I have to convey, or any customer is going to access me, or any user is going to access me, I could able to manage it through my UDDA. That's what tracking service. So finally, I need to set up the platform that it is ready to work on any operating system, any platform. Okay, because that is a specialty of SOA. Java is the feature of having the naturally it is having the feature of platform independency. Okay, but here people are creating a framework that is having the property of independency, right? You could able to create on any services, but ready to access and work on any platform. That's what it is ready to stress upon. So next, so this could be recollected only from the previous class session. How is SOA different from object-oriented architecture? Strong coupling among objects. Communications are prescriptive rather than being descriptive. So that means only assigned communications will happen. Data is separated from a service and behavior. So there is no relation between data and functionality. Data and methods are integrated into a single object, encapsulation. Okay. So which one will be the option? Best option for this? A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. So we are getting options as C. Probably the reason options are C. Ultimately, the option is C. Because why? When we are moving from 2-tier architecture, 3-tier architecture, the layers will be coming like this. Presentation layer, middle layer, data layer. Okay, our presentation tier, middle tier, data tier. This is what a three-tier architecture is. N-tier architecture means number of middle tiers will be more. That's all. There will be 2 or 3 layers of middle tier will be there. Okay, so in that case, presentation tier is your design. Middle tier is nothing but your business logic. Data tier is nothing but a database. Okay, but the flow of data will be occurring between all these 3 layers, 3 tiers or n tiers. Okay, so here what we are going to do over is primary thing. Even in the tier architectures, people have remotely kept the business logic, nothing but our web service. Okay, so there I have to create an object to access the business logic. Here, web services are configured that can be accessed through that method. That's enough, or through the label name. By that, I could able to access the web service. Okay, but ultimately, data will be passed from the user. That's it. So data will not be combined with the respective methodology. So that is the main orientation here. So the role of service is, it is completely neutral. You could not be able to identify what's happening in the service. It could be completely abstracted. Okay, what's happening in the service, you could not be able to find it out. The service, if you give the input, it will give the output. That's all. If you give any anonymous input, the service will respond you with the proper output. That's it. Okay, so that's the main difference between SOA from other architectures. Yes. Which architecture will be built on top of SOA? So might be today we'll be discussing about this, but anyway, have an idea and convey. Component, service, resource, application. What would be the best option for this? Component. Railway reservation is a reservation is a component. Service is nothing but IRCTC website. Okay. Application is nothing but the visible screen of us. Okay. The web application which is visible to us. Resource. Resource is nothing but it represents platform, software, as well as the infrastructure which is completely cumulated for A, B, C. Okay. So among this, which one will be built on the top of SOA? That's what your question is. So what your options are? So 2 students responded with the A. Ultimately, so the application which is visible to us, right? Through that only we will be accessing the service. The rest of them are completely hidden, right? That's what I have explained in the previous question also. So it is completely hidden over on that. You could not be able to access for the session. Okay, so that's the idea. So commencing with that, what is your service? So I have left the last session in this place only. What is your service? So to start from that, nowadays all the computational capacity is available as a service. All the, I think you could be able to remember the block diagram of computer. Okay, block diagram of computer. Input unit, output unit, the CPU. What are all the contents available inside the CPU now available as complete service. Even using such a type of environment, what are all we are write to code, what are all we are creating as a software, that's also available as a service nowadays. No need to write a very tough program for a clear image identification, a face detection, for any type of hard application. Everything is ready-madely available. No need to invest your mind on writing programs nowadays. Everything is available as a service. You must know how to couple that service with your program. That's it. So the job is, service could be able to receive a input and it could be able to give you output. You must know a procedure to give input for that service, how to get the output from the service. That's all. As well as even the second stage is, what are all the possible ways to give input for the service that your program must know, as well as What are all the ways I can represent my output from the service? So these are all the skills nowadays it is needed for your service oriented architecture based jobs, right? Soon it will be like our call center executive jobs, these SOA jobs. Just a predominant, a simple programming language, it's enough to have a knowledge on DB. If you have completed a certification in a branded SOA platform like our Google or Azure or some other major platforms, AWS. So it's enough that you could able to earn a handsome salary of 30 plus, right? But you must know how to handle the service. It's enough. It is very tough to be an expert in all the services. Okay, so please remember that. And in this time that I want to show you, so these are all the services of the branded content. Okay, so I think I could be able to maximize this. So the branded entity Azure from Microsoft, AWS from Amazon, and we have that Google Compute, right? See how these things emerged. The role of grid computing is very, very important here. That is the actual hero which is hiding behind this computing environment, your cloud computing environment. Because even behind your grid, you are having a distributed computing. The complete orientation happens here. Okay, so Azure, AWS, and Google. These are all the major market players. Now you could able to see these services. What are all they are providing, right? First they are mentioned as available regions. So available regions means here, like how we have a map, right? Likewise, they have their own map, and you could able to see the map. Just you Google it, you could able to see the map. The what are all the places that they can give their infrastructure. Likewise, they are having their own map, right? I think among these three, AWS will give you very good zone coverage compared to Azure and Google. But because in some of the countries, Azure and Compute are they are feeling tough to get into that corresponding environment. But I think already Amazon have entered India completely compared to our Microsoft and Google. Amazon have been given the direct entry through government. So that's the main reason. Compute services, nothing but capacities that what are all we are having, like the power of CPU, right? What we can supply. App hosting services, right? Serverless computing. AWS Lambda is playing a vital role nowadays compared to other environment, right? Container support, Docker, right? Docker. I think people who are having knowledge on Docker could know about that. Container services, scaling options, right? I could able to increase my resources. Next, object storage. See that object storage is a concept we have learnt in your DBMS, RDBMS. Now it had came as a service. No need to work for something a tedious programming. It is available as a service. Just your job is give your data. It will take care. That's it. Block storage, right? So data centers are going to be the main business for them. Block storage, CDN, content delivery network, right? Processed and ready-made tailoring environment. That's what this CDN, especially for to work with a multiple number of processed data. The CDN will be playing a vital role. SQL database options. So like our RDBMS environment, they are ready to supply. NoSQL, even NoSQL DB also they are ready to supply. So among that you know about that AWS DynamoDB could be the backbone of most of the famous and emerging social networking sites nowadays. Virtual network that I could be able to set up a VPN. So initially, if I need to set up a VPN, I could have my own services, but now I could be able to render service to create a VPN. That's also being possible, which is related with our private connectivity. See, private connectivity is a very important thing that which is relevant to virtual network. See, Infosys have their own mechanism called a Hyperloop. That's their private connectivity network. In India, even in world, they are the first one that they have established that Hyperloop. But nowadays, even those connectivity and infrastructure also have termed as a complete service. Okay, so people are still, I think, private connectivity is not emerged much more in India, right? Because we people are completely comfortable with our VPN, which are established through our campus area network, right? So I think we till now it doesn't bother about that. DNS services, I think it is related to your serverless computing itself, right? Web hosting and other thing. Log monitoring, right? So this is something that people are employing nowadays mandatorily. If you are going to purchase any service from the environment, uh, surely they will incorporate this as a mandatory service. So without that, it's very tough for us to move forward because pertaining to security aspects, it's very, very important. That could be a major challenge in this service-oriented architecture. People are ready to improve on that. That is the major thrust area regarding service-oriented architecture. So please remember that. That's the place that where you can concentrate. Performance monitoring, right? I think this could not be a service actually. This is available as a component of broker architecture. If you have seen your grid resource broker architecture or cloud resource broker architecture, you could able to find out this performance monitoring tool is a built-in one. It could not be it's not necessary to be a service, but when you are going to create your own application to manage the performance of your application, you can tie up this service, right? But ultimately this performance monitoring is an interesting thing. For example, you are going to supply some 10 resources in the cloud and inform the broker that these 10 resources can be managed by the corresponding CSP, cloud service provider. So whenever a customer is going to access, so the performance monitoring tool will give the feedback of the corresponding service. See, this service the customer have used for 10 hours during a day. I don't find any types of resilient issues. So likewise, so they could able to convey and they will give you the rating for the corresponding service that can be rendered through that performance monitoring tool only, right? Next, administration and security, right? So I think people know about this IIS, Internet Information Server, in pertaining to serverless computing. The same thing only here. People are ready to give over on that. Okay, IIS. So what a NT Windows NT operating system will do in its host, the same thing that these services are going to do it. Azure Active Directory, Identity and Access Management, likewise in Google also. Compliance, right? This is the one like our digital certificate issuing mechanism. Nothing like our Kerberos, that what we have learned in our security, right? Kerberos, that's what the compliance center, that's nothing but. Analytics, I think people are very good on that nowadays. I found most of the students are doing certifications in analytics. Even I could be able to see in LinkedIn, right? So the analytics can be categorized into many things. Even it will give about the users who are using your application, other services who are accessing your service, regarding its own analytics, how it is performing in the peak hour, how it is performing in the normal hour, how it is performing when a drastic emergency had happened, right? So likewise, analytics is possible, available for both inter as well as intra operations. Okay. Next one is the important one, automation, and which is the costlier one in all these services. Automation, because this is a place that you no need to write any code. They will supply you everything. That's it. If you give the contents, they will give you the website. If you give you the requirements, they will give you the software. Right? Everything will be available over on the customized usage. Okay. Nowadays, so just your job is pay for one user. Suppose you are going to put a startup, just you get your laptops. That's enough, along with the internet. By that, you could able to access all these services. So per user nowadays they are charging for a startup. That's startup that they are working with the AI. That means in that case they are charging monthly it is going to be, including taxes, they are charging 3,800 rupees. That's it, right? Students who are flavoring for startups in AI, you can do that. Five of your friends that you are going to join and have a startup means it's enough. Your monthly expense is going for your a plan of internet that could come for 1,500 rupees monthly. That is going to give you 1,500 GB or 1,000 GB of data that can be used to access the services. So per head, if you are going to spend approximately 4,000, means your infrastructure cost will come around 22,000. That's it. So that could be the idea that this automation is going to provide us. Like even you can more number of options are there. You can customize and you can use these automations also. That is also being possible nowadays. I think the first the major corporate player is nothing but our RSB, Royal Scotland Bank. Okay, RBS, Royal Bank of Scotland. So they are the first one. They started using these types of services in a full-fledged way, right? They don't need a technical person. They need a technical person only for maintenance purpose. Rest of the thing they are running with a complete clerical environment. They will supply the manual. By seeing the manual, they will work in the software. For that, they don't need any professionals. Okay, so that's an interesting theory about that. Even uh, American Express, most of the people who are in the financial fintech, so they are completely working on these platforms only, right? So management services and options. So that's also a point that related to our service management, right? And notifications, right? And you have a challenge here. See that Google notification service is not there. They have given none because still they're doing research. So I think you could know about this Firebase. People are working on that. Still, they are running with some sort of issues on that because Google is now only it is emerging on this environment. They are very good in algorithms, but regarding service-oriented environment, now only they are emerging. They could be the cub of this section. Might be it will take 3 or 4 years for them to occupy the market, right? But already Amazon have occupied this. Uh, Microsoft is ready to conquer. They are ready to have their vision on accessing most of the social networking sites. That's what their complete plan. So that if they access the complete social networking sites, they could be able to come into their business in a useful way. That is the main idea. So finally, load balancing, right? Initially, most of the research scholars in computing, especially people who have chosen network specialization, they will be concentrating more on this load balancing only. At a time, how many number of services can access my service? At a time, how many number of users can access my service? So if more number of load is going to come, ultimately, I will create one more instance of the service. So how to do that? What are all the algorithms behind that load balancing? Right? Some interesting research will be there always behind this. Even this could be the one still which is running in the environment of research because uh, day by day the number of devices are increasing, the number of users are increasing, the number of individual accounts of users are increasing, right? Even a person will have more than one subscription, right? I'm having a Tata Sky DTH service as well as I'm having Tata Sky Bingay service, right? So even a single person will have multiple number of services. So ultimately, what will happen? The load will get to increase to access the service. So how to manage that? Still, people are running with their accuracy, and to avoid that means thing you know about the factor called MTBF, mean time between failure, right? So this is the factor. This is what we'll learn in software engineering, especially reliability engineering. Mean time between failure. People are reduced to in service environment. People are ready to reduce that. That is their complete idea. Okay. So when they are going to reach the factor 0, that's going to be their ultimate success. So mean time between failure is going to be 0. I think nowadays you could be able to see an advertisement for Airtel. They are ready to reach their content to be 0. That means they are completely satisfying their customers through their complaints launched in the customer care is going to be a nil one. They have solved all queries, right? So that could be the environment of service-oriented architecture. So that's what the complete content of service we have discussed on three major industrial players. This is what we have discussed. So we must know how the service is implemented, how the user is accessing the service, whether it is limited or not. Everything can be decided by the SOA infrastructure, right? And that's what I have conveyed. From theoretical point of view, we could able to, we can neglect. See, while I'm going to write a research paper, I could able to write a service is going to offer you whenever you think of this could happen. So likewise, I could be able to write a service, but assure that whether it will happen automatically. So Stephen Hawkins students have designed for him that whenever he is going to think, move the wheelchair, automatically chair will move, right? So such type of operations can be availed as a service. Yes, it will come, but the number of days are more to reach that point. That's what theoretically I can convey anything, but practical implementation of bringing that service into the market is a very biggest challenge. That's what still SOA is running on the platform of research for majority of the services. This could be the main characteristics. Since it need to, if it has developed on open standard, ultimately it is ready to access. A very good example is SOAP, Simple Object Access Protocol, right? So this is the protocol which is able to issue this property of integration. It could able to communicate between heterogeneous services. Okay, to communicate between Java web service and .NET web service, SOAP can be employed, right? Ultimate idea is SOAP is completely designed in XML. That is the reason why we have learned XML in Unit 1. Loose coupling, pay and demand, right? So pay and use, that's what loose coupling, that's the ultimate model of our cloud computing, right? That can be a service. So whenever I need, just I will make a request. Even this loose coupling also, I could be able to convey in some other way. That's what our RSVP, right? I can reserve my resource and use it. I could able to block my resource from this time period to this time period. I could able to use it. That is also will come under the term of loose coupling. Whenever I need, I'll access and use it. Stateless. This is something interesting. The reason to give the characteristics is pattern of the service can be determined only through this stateless feature. Okay, pattern, because you cannot be able to, because if I need to mention how this service is performing, unless and otherwise it should be stateless. Depending upon any state it need to work, right? Suppose if it got stuck immediately, it need to reboot, or the user should not know the service got stuck, right? So it must be resumed automatically without the knowledge of user. So likewise it should be there. So completely it must be stateless. Location agnostic. I have most of my research work pertaining to my PG, I have hired the services from some particular zone in Australia, in Melbourne University. I have acquired some 4 or 5 systems to make my program to run. So I am conveying about the year 2011. During that period, I am ready to execute my the software what I have developed for my PG project work is ready to work with 4 systems which are available in my Melbourne University lab, right, from my JNTU Hyderabad. So what will happen in that case? I am, irrespective of location, I am ready to access. Even we need to thank XML in this aspect. So this could be the summary that what we have discussed about all these services and other things could be loosely coupled. So neutrality, that's what I have conveyed the term when we are going to talk about the service. Configurability, right? So flexible configuration, nothing but plug and play, nothing more than that. Okay, so I think initial stage of SOAs, how it will be means, it will come as APIs. So if you need to access API, so I think I'm talking more on AWS because I was practiced in that. When you are coming for Google, They will give you as APIs even nowadays, but in when you come for our Amazon, it will not be like that. It will available as a standard web service. That's it. Okay, if you need to access the web service, HTTP colon localhost colon what would be the port that you are accessing, the port number I am accessing from my client only. So 9090 slash what would be the my service that I need to access, service name. That's all. If I give that, automatically I could able to access my AWS corresponding service. That's it. Okay, but when we are going to work with my Google based service environment, what will happen? They will give you the code, right? So whenever you are going to write the code, you have to incorporate this API, or whenever you are going to compile the code, you are going to incorporate this one during runtime as a jar file, likewise, right? So that's the uh, nature of service between different players in the industry. I think no validity. That's what they're talking about, lifetime. So you can go for upgrade at any time, right? Even without the knowledge of user. Granularity. So that's the major thing that made the people to be attracted on that. Teams, nothing but a collection of resources, right? I think you know the content about the grid computing. The power of n systems can be accessible in a single system, right? So that's what they want to talk about here. Teams. What are its benefits? I think we have discussed some of the points will come redundantly. Okay, so ultimately, business is completely focused on customer only, right? So in that case, the complete customer service is being achieved through all these things. That's what they have given us: IT services, marketing services, accounting services. These three things will keep your customer with you always, right? So whenever you are going to see, whenever you are going to have your Airtel subscription, that they will convey about their services in a periodical way, which is beneficial for you, right? If you are being a long-term customer, that it will be termed as a premium customer. So in that case, the corresponding services will be enabled for you, right? Always, even with your permission. So IT services, they are ready to provide us. Even Apple subscription, they are ready to provide us McAfee antivirus when we are being as a premium customer, right? Accounting services, that I could able to get the complete statements, audit trails, everything on them through a single portal. That's the reason why I think they have given an app, right? So Airtel Thanks app. So through that, they are ready to manage all these services in a easier way. So these are all the benefits. See, even the dashboard which is available towards the owner of or MD of the regional director of Airtel could be able to view what we are viewing. That's it, right? So what I am going to view on my complete content could be viewed by them also. So every dashboard is ready to provide some sort of data analytical environment which is necessary for both of us. So likewise. So that's what loosely coupling between consumer and provider. So whenever you need to use, just pay and use model. That's the reason why we are using the term again and again. Dynamic binding allows the use of latest services that are most useful to the task at hand. See, the operating system what I'm having is 8.10. So when I'm going to upgrade, so what I have to do, I have to completely revoke the environment, and I have to keep my backup, and I have to go for installing the OS again. But it's not like whenever the upgrade is going to happen, if we are in the SOA platform, upgrade will happen automatically even without our knowledge. Okay, I could able to access all the services, all the recent architectures. I could able to use it in a easier way. That's what the complete benefit of this SOA, right? The first three parameters will decide your success of the business. So please remember, okay? So that decides the complete success. From the IT perspective, that's what. No need to invest on systems nowadays. See, I think people have come across this term. Some of the universities some of the deemed universities are ready to move for this BYOD, right? For anything, BYOD, bring your own device. So in that case, they will give you their service. That's all. That means through internet, if you are going to access, that corresponding university will provide all the services. What I have shown in Google, Microsoft, and AWS. All those services will be available The university will pay for the services. Students and research scholars will use the services. That's it. So there won't be any specific laboratories for that. Okay, so in that case, they will give you space. Even most of the places, even for a Smart India Hackathon, people are conducting through this BYOD model only. Most of the places, you need model, right? So this is what your business actually. If you want to explore in SOA, design your own unique SOA model. Your business will success. That's all. Flexibility. So I could able to incorporate my services now and then, and you could able to see it very easily, right? People will be charging more during the. I think nowadays no transport is there, but people will be charging more on omnibus when you are going to travel through on holidays and weekends, right? How they are changing. So they could able to change. They could able to introduce some new services with the high rates, right? They will introduce some premium services with the high rates. How that corresponding data is being inserted into the application environment during the travel, right? It's possible for me, right? That's also uh, it's a very major thing, right? This is what current architecture is providing us: legacy integration. Okay, this is what the connectivity between them. This is what tier architectures. What I will convey. I don't know where my services are. Okay, I don't know where my database is. I don't know where my business logic is. I don't know where my presentation tier is. Whenever I am going to access my website, it will visible to me. That's it. That's what legacy systems are. But when you come for SOA, everything will be available in a complete platform. Distributed computing will be like this. Peer-to-peer computing will be like this. The basic architecture of all these environment. Now everything has been collectively formed under this SOA platform. You have lot of research entity to work on this SOA, right? So starting from basic resource till you are reaching your billing, everything is nowadays being could be a research issue for that. So you are having lot of scope to work on this SOA, right? So people who are pursuing MS, who are going to pursue your MS, you could decide and you can construct a cost-effective SOA model that will give you a very good beneficial. Companies will ready to purchase the model instead of hiring you, right? That could be a best startup idea that you could able to have a best SOA model which could be cost effective. So that's also a point that I want to stretch it upon here. So by that, here I will close. If you have any clarifications, kindly post to the chat. We will discuss.